Microsoft gave thousands of their engineers the most powerful coding tool available, Claude Code. And by June 2026, they quietly cancelled the license. Uber's CTO said their entire AI budget for the whole year was completely gone by April. And Nvidia, the company that literally builds these chips that powers all of these AI, their VP revealed that the AI compute cost for their team has now exceeded what they actually pay their employees. And these are not startups. These are the biggest tech companies in the world. And the reason is not that AI did not work. It's that it worked too well and nobody had a plan for what happens when it does. So let me show you exactly where that cost is hiding and how you can optimize your workflows, because it's not what most people think. So let's start with how modern apps are actually built. This is a typical stack for any AI SaaS app that you build today. Database, auth, AI APIs, email service, storage, queues, and that is before you even get to the actual product features. And modern apps aren't one app anymore. There are 10, 12, even 15 services sometimes talking to each other. Now here's the thing about AI coding tools. They're incredible at generating feature logic. Ask Claude Code to build a note editor. It builds it. Ask it to set up a Supabase schema. It'll do it in seconds. But every new service that you add to your stack creates a new integration surface. And every single integration surface has some context that your AI has to understand for it to work efficiently. And context is not free. Every single token that you spend on explaining how your services are connected is a token you're not actually spending on building something. And that, my friend, is the first layer of this hidden cost. But there's a second layer that's even more expensive. So, which model are you using? Most developers, including myself, for a long time just default to the most powerful model available. Claude Opus, GPT-5, whatever's at the top of the tier list. Because why not use the best? Here's why not. Writing a utility function, you don't need Opus. Haiku can handle it fine. Generating a SQL schema, Haiku. Summarizing logs, GPT 5.4 mini. But debugging a race condition across distributed systems, now that is worth paying for a Sonnet or Opus model. And trust me, the cost difference is not small. Claude Opus costs roughly 15 times more per token than Haiku. GPT 5.5 is significantly more expensive than 5.4 mini. Alright, so let's figure it out. I'm gonna ask Claude that I use Claude Opus for all my coding tasks. Show me which tasks actually need Opus versus Haiku and estimate the monthly cost difference. Let's see what it gives us. And by the way, guys, I think Claude has recently introduced this effort parameter as well. So you can use something like this while prompting over here or in Claude Code as well to save more tokens. Alright, check this out. It has built me a simple calculator over here and it has categorized different tasks. For complex tasks, Opus. For debugging, Sonnet. Writing unit tests and all can be done by Haiku. Code review, autocomplete. Summarizing code, etc. all can be done by Haiku. We don't even need Opus over there, right? Opus is for very complex tasks, right? And Sonnet can handle tasks like writing APIs and stuff. Honestly, I love Sonnet. It can handle most of the things by itself. And check this out. You can save up to $30 if you're using it 6 hours daily, and average token per request is like 2,000. And that is a huge saving in tokens. But trust me, guys, it gets worse. Even when you're on the right model, there's a category of work that's eating token on every single task. Alright, so let me show you this with a real app. So I've opened VS Code over here with Claude Code installed inside of it. And I'm going to paste a prompt over here to create a Node.js backend for an app called Node AI with Node services using Supabase, AI service using OpenAI. Actually, let me just use Gemini API over here since it's free. And email service using Recent. Wire everything up with express routes and fetch wrappers on the front end. And I'm going to press enter. And I've configured my Claude Code so that it shows me how many tokens it has used. Right now, I'm using Sonnet 4.6 to create it. Check this out. It's generating all of the different files, all of the different services. Okay, so it's asking me to add some environment variables, create a nodes table on Supabase, run npm install. So I'm going to do all of these different steps right here. All right, so I've added all the environment variables over here and I asked it to make sure that all routes are working. It tested it out and looks like everything is working fine. Great, let's try and run it. I'll say node server /index.js. Let's go to /API/nodes. And yeah, it has added this example note over here. Awesome. Also, what I can see over here is it has not created our front end, just the fetching logic over here. So let's do one thing. I'm going to say, now create the Next.js frontend for Note AI, a note editor component where user can write notes, click summarize to get an AI summary, and get digest email, right? And connect to backend using the fetch calls over here. So let's press enter and let's wait for it to get completed. Then I'll show you why I'm building this. All right, there we go. It has created the front end for us as well. Let's follow this link. There it is. Let's try adding a note over here. Let's say title hidden cost of AI. Click on save note. And there we go. It has added it right here. If you can click on summarize, there we go. We have the AI summary as well. Awesome. All right, now notice I'm going to add one more method over here. So I'm going to say, I want to add pin note to node service. Show me every file I need to update to make this work on front end. Okay, let's see. How bad can it be? Check this out. We need to update 5 separate files over here. That's crazy. But not just this. Check it out. I'll just say implement it. And notice how our tokens will increase. So currently we are at 64,000 something. All right, there we go. It is done. And we have used almost 4,000 token. It was at 64,400 and now it is at 68,400 just to add one simple pin note feature. So basically at this point, I'm paying my AI to re-explain how my services talk to each other, the route shape, the request body, the error handling, all of this context your AI needs just to hold the simple integration work. And when the context window fills up, you will start a new chat, which will again, start this loop all over again. Let me explain it in more, clear sense. So let's say if I prompt, I have 8 AI sessions per day working on a project with 6 backend services, right? Estimate the token spend on re-explaining routes and AI shapes versus the actual feature work. Let's see what it says. Okay, so per session cost, re-explain 6 services is 2,000 to 3,000 cost. Catching up on recent changes, this much. Clarifying endpoints is this much. So per session total overhead will be this. But across 8 sessions per day, it is 28,000 to 52,000 tokens per day just on context reconstruction. That's crazy. Which is roughly 40 to 60% of your daily token budget going to re-explanation. Cool. So now let's talk about solution. And let me show you something that I've been using a lot nowadays to solve a problem like this. It's called Graftcode and I've given the link to it in the description down below as well. So basically what it does is it will help you connect 2 services, like for example, front end with backend, your MCPs with the backend, your monolith with microservices, right? So it is super helpful. And in this video, we have already seen the front end and back end example. So we're going to build on top of that. And don't worry, this is not a no-code tool or an AI assistant. It's basically an infrastructure layer that removes the integration problem between the services. And I think currently it is in free alpha. So you don't need any account to get started as well. So let me show you actually exactly how it works. You can also follow along so that you can get an idea by clicking the link in the description down below. So you've already seen we have all of these different files that we have created over here, right? Now what I want to do over here, I'm going to create a new folder called rules. And the best part about using something like Graftcode is you don't have to learn it from absolute scratch, right? They have created this rules file over here in their GitHub repository. And I'll give the link to it in the description down below as well. So you can, copy the content of it and you can create a new file over here, Graftcode TypeScript node nextjs.md. And we can paste everything inside of it, right? So it has the complete rules on how we need to work with it. And now you'll see the actual magic. So I'll just close it. That's all. And now I will prompt Claude Code again. Refactor this Note AI project to use Graftcode, remove all express route and fetch wrappers, keep the services file exactly as they are. And at this point, you might be a little bit confused, but you'll get the idea soon. So I'm going to press enter right here. And now it's going to go through this rules file that we have created right here. See, it is going through it. And it is a one-time thing, obviously. Once it gets the idea, then finally it can go on and write for us. Cool. So let's wait and see what it does. All right. So looks like it's done. It has deleted our routes folder inside of server. And the only change that it has made apart from it is creating this Docker file. Let's understand this. So over here, you can see this command right here. This is our gateway to understand our backend and how it works. Again, let me just show you first. By the way, inside of our front end, our fetching logic is also completely gone. It has created this graft right here. And you don't need to understand honestly. What I'll do, I'll go to my terminal and I think it would have mentioned over here as well. Yep, see, it is telling us how we can run it. I'm going to say docker build no cache pull -t note AI backend. Let's run it. Okay, it is building it, and obviously make sure that you have Docker installed inside of your computer. In this case, I'm calling this image node.ai-backend:test. And again, you don't need to understand in depth on how Docker and all work. It has provided all of these commands to us right here. After this is done, we can run it by using this command. Oh, actually, we are calling it :test, right? So I'll just run that. There we go. It took some time, but it is done. Let's try to run it. Okay, I guess this will be running. So we need to open this URL in the browser. By the way, guys, I made a mistake. I did not created this .docker ignore file, and I guess Claude also didn't create it. So it was taking quite some time to run my Docker file. But once I created it and I rebuilt it, then it's now working. So check this out. You just need to go to localhost :81/GV, and right here, this is Graftcode vision. So if I click on over here, see, all of our services are right here. It's like having the documentation written for your complete backend, or like having an npm package explorer for your own backend, right? See, over here, we can select on the package type. Let's say if I click on npm, now all I have to do is install this command right here inside of our front end. And you can see we have get all nodes. So we just have to call this node service.getAll, and it will fetch all of the nodes for us. Similarly, get by ID, create, update, delete as well, right? So it makes our job so easy. So we have this try it out button as well. If I click on it and click on run over here, see, it's creating the instance of node service, and obviously we won't see it since it's an object right here. But yeah, you get the idea, right? This is how it is going to look. And get by ID, it will take an ID, so it will ask us for the ID, obviously, right? So why don't we go on and add it inside of our front end? And by the way, this is how you import it in your front end, right? They've given the whole configuration right here. So let's go back. And by the way, I think in front end currently, so I'll just switch to front end. We have to install a package called Hypertube Node.js SDK, which I think this is a temporary dependencies that's needed right now. Graftcode docs, I think I saw somewhere that they'll be removing it later on. So just install it over here. Apart from that, let me just give it my command over here and let me allow Claude Code to do it. So I'll just say add these services. I'll give it my node service. So let's run it. And now it should go on and install it inside of our front end. And for each and every service inside of our front end, it should just replace it with this simple node service.getAll or get by ID, etc. So let's see. Okay, there we go. It is taking this api.nodes.create, and now simply it is using this node service.create over here. Let's go to the file. Yep, right here you can see we just had to import this, and now things have become much more easier. Let me just allow it to do the whole thing. And there we go. Looks like it is done. It has removed and fetch wrappers, express route, whatever, and it has replaced it with our Graftcode services. Let's try to run our front end now. So I'm going to say npm run dev. Our Graftcode is already running, so it should just pick it up from there. Oh, we're getting this error. Okay, I think it's because Claude did not initialize the constructor first. So let me just tell it, use constructors as follows. Okay, let's allow it to fix all of the files now. All right, there we go. It is done, and looks like it has now shifted all of this code to server actions. Okay, let's see. And there we go. Our app is working absolutely fine. How about I do summarize so that it will use the AI service? There we go. It is working flawlessly as well. Awesome. All right. So now finally what we are going to do, we are going to be adding another service. And now finally you will see the difference between the previous approach and the approach with Graftcode, right? All right. So now what I want to do, I want to add a search service to Note that takes a query string. And basically you get the idea, right? Searches. And I'm going to say use Graftcode. Now let's see how many tokens it consumes. Currently we are at around 42,000 tokens. Let's see how many it uses to complete it. And I realized the tokens were hidden behind my head. So there we go. It is done. And it has consumed around 2,000 tokens, almost half of what we were using earlier. Let's see how it's working. By the way, guys, we need to again build our Docker. So make sure to delete the previous one. Okay, we need to be in the root directory. Just build it. And we are going to try to run it again. All right, it's built. Let's go on and try running it. I'm going to run this command right here. And let's start our front end again as well. All right, there we go. We have our search right here. And yeah, it is working flawlessly. Awesome. All right, now before ending this video, I want to show one final thing. And that is that Graftcode also comes out of the box with MCP. So you can see right here. you can add this MCP client inside of your app, and then all of these different services will start to work. So all you have to do is go to this Claude file right here and create a new file for mcp.json and just copy this up and paste it right here. And all of the other things will be exactly the same, just like you treat an MCP. You can directly interact with it using your chat from over here. And I would highly encourage you guys to go inside of their documentation to explore this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you think that you have any more tips to share with everyone else, let me know in the comments down below on how you optimize the cost while doing your AI coding. And if you like this video, hit that like button as hard as you can.